I'm Warren Davis, and you're watching the Evercade Effect.
Evercade Effect.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Evercade Effect. This is Ed. Today here, we're doing a follow-up video to a collection of one game called Full Void. And for those of you who are new to the channel, I'm going to explain how this works. So initially, when a new cart release comes out, I play the game, give my first thoughts and impressions. I'm going to put that card up above if you want to see where I play through for the first time, go through the video. There'll also be a link in the description below. This video is a follow-up video that I do generally 2 weeks later. Of course, it's been a lot longer than that with all the new Evercade cards like the Duke Nukem's, Good Boy Galaxies, Astro and all that good stuff. So when we do have all these new cards in between, I'm going to go back and sprinkle my follow-up videos that I do that are 2 weeks later, much later in this case. And I think it's important for me to go ahead and talk about this. I do want to say this is going to be spoiler-free. I have thought about going into detail and talking about the ending and all that. Let me know in the comments below if that's a separate video that you'd like to see. I may end up doing that with Retro Rich on my second channel, but I really want everybody to enjoy the full experience of Full Void. And you'll see here, you'll see why. So again, this is the Full Void collection. It's just the one game, but wow, look at that. Look at that artwork and everything is incredible. And first off, I want to say I did not get the special edition of this. The regular edition, as you can see, was good enough for me. I'll get to that a little bit later why. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's dive into this game. And was it worth it just getting this one game on the collection and all that? So let's go ahead and dive into it. So some comparisons that I want to refer this to is on the Dolphin collection. We did have a Flashback, we did have Another World or Out of This World, and this game is really separate because in those games you really have to go around. They're non-linear. They're more of a Metroidvania. You got to go to the other room and do the thing and come back, and it could affect this. And then if you die, you have to start way over and all that. So for this, and I want to go by saying that for me, and this is probably one of the best experiences that I've had on Evercade. And I get what I mean by that. Not saying that it's like the best game or anything, but let me show you my time here. I dropped my controller. If we go ahead and we go back, yeah, I have over 4.5 hours now. See, I played this on six different times. And if you look at speedruns or people playing, yeah, you can beat this in an hour and a half. But I really took my time with this. I only got stuck at 2 spots, and yeah, I only had to look at the playthrough for those 2 spots. And you can see by the low play count that I really got sucked into this game, which I think is very important. So let's so. I want to go back again to what I said referring to the Dolphin collection of the world and all that. So the difference is with this game, it is linear, right? I kind of say that it's sort of like if you have a linear game, and if you took all the frustrating things, out of Another World and those type of games, and then you kind of added in and changed some things, really upped the graphics, on everything, and then you really had like a driven focus. Because in Another World, you're kind of like teleported in this place, you have no idea, and you don't really hear it. This has a really good driven story, and I think that's super, super important. And then it kind of have these elements that when you just don't want to set the controller down when you go through a loading screen, because you may have some actions and some things that you really need to do there. And so that's what's really neat about it. This game immerses you into the story. So for me, like when I play through an arcade game or I play through like an indie game and I beat one of those shorter games and I beat it in an hour or so, that's a great experience. Now take this game and add story elements on it, and then add graphics and everything, and it's just really incredible. It's almost like if you just want to sit down and kind of watch a good movie or watch like a good series of shows. That's this experience. Now the downside, of course, is that once you go through the game and everything, you're not gonna want to play it again, because unless I'll show you here the achievements. Unless you want to go for the achievements, because you know the story, you know everything. Maybe is this a game that I revisit in several years? It might be. But just the music and everything, when I played this, I was by myself. I was playing it on the VS, although admittedly I did beat it on the EXP just because, around the Thanksgiving holidays and all that, I really wanted to see the ending in between. So let's take a look at the achievements. So, yeah, I get when you unlock them, can I just go through these? Yeah. Oh, I believe I can. You thought you could fly, but you were wrong. Yeah, I can't even remember how you do that. Yeah, and there's like some other ones. Yeah, there's a total. There's a total of 11 of them. I think the last one. Actually, I don't want to review the last one because that might be a spoiler. You actually go through and beat the game here. But yeah, it's just like all the frustrations for me for this game were gone. I could sit down and chill. And it was just about like moving forward, like robots or things are chasing you or getting up on ledges or you have to move boxes. And later in the game, you get even to more puzzles. Without really spoiling too much, you get like this kind of robot helper you have to do things with. And it's just like, it's really just like really cool. And so you're just trying to like escape and get through this whole thing. And the thing to keep in mind, especially when you get towards the end of the game, is that the creators of this, and again, this isn't a spoiler because I've said this, they said that really that COVID was their huge influence on this game and kind of set the vibe and everything. And when you get towards the end of the game, and especially when you beat it, they totally address that. And so the payoff is very immense. Like the ending is so good and you really get the payoff of everything. And you're like, oh, that's why this is the way it was. Again, spoiler free. I don't want to go into the details of that because I want you to experience this game. I mean, and that's why I say it is a one and done. And the fact of just owning a physical copy and having it sit on my shelf is good. And again, I don't care that I didn't get the special edition. I didn't need all the extra stickers and the poster. It is great to still see this on the shelf and reflect on those memories. Now, I will say if you don't have an Evercade, you can get this on Steam. I think you can get this on other platforms here. Let's see. It's normally $15 for a digital copy. It's on sale for $11.99. And so yeah, just look at the graphics and look at the art style. This is just incredible. This plays perfectly in the Evercade. It loads just so fast. Like I was just like really impressed. Never had any issues playing it on the EXP or the VS. But yeah, just look at all that. So the reason I wanted to show the digital edition because something like this, for me personally, like a game like that, especially a digital copy of it, that's a one and done for a few hours. Like I wouldn't have, me personally, the Unknown game, I wouldn't have spent that money. I would have totally overlooked this. Now, I think it's still worth picking it up digitally if you can get it on sale and you don't have an Evercade. But for me though, the thing with Evercade, it's physical media, right? It's nice after you play a game to have something, at least for me, to sit on the shelf. I can play it anytime, whenever I want. I actually really own the rights to it, even though Steam is better than most other digital subscription companies out there, that you really do feel like you own the content. For me though, digital just kind of gets lost over everything. So I really like owning, hence the physical media here on the Evercade. So the reason I bring this up is, yeah, for me to get this, for $20, even though, yes, it's more expensive getting it digital, it is a physical copy, and you get the instruction booklet and all that cool stuff, and I get an Evercade ecosystem and all that. So for me, I really like that. I really enjoyed it. And if you are wanting to kind of play some of those more like puzzle games, but you want all the frustration out of it, and you want to have just like a really good experience, then this I would recommend. Like this is like an S+ tier type of game. Even though you're probably not gonna revisit it and play it again for a long time. It was a really good experience. It was neat to have waiting for the other collections. I was really unsure going into this if I was gonna like it. If you haven't watched my previous videos, on the Dolphin collection, to kind of see, I was just really frustrated. I mean, because it was just like older games, older controls, and that's what I kind of mean with computer collections. Is some of those games have different or clunkier controls. The controls in this game are superior. I never had any issues. Matter of fact, they just kind of have that action button where if you go over certain things, you can unlock achievements. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you come across a bathroom scene, just kind of mess around. Of course, it's all G-rated. But yeah, just the whole vibe and everything. It was just, you could just see like the love and attention this game. Like that's why I say for me, this is just one of the best best experiences. And for me, this is what Evercade is all about, finding these type of games like this. And I hope in 2024, I really want to see Blaze come out with more single games, more dual carts. It is, for me, it is quality over quantity. I know maybe like if you're taking Evercade on vacation, yeah, you're not gonna bring this with you, unless you only plan on playing it, for a few hours. So yeah, you do maybe want some of those collections of multiple games. But I hope if Blaze sticks to its schedule of, every 2 months they come out with 2 carts. Give us a collection like this that you just sit down, you enjoy. It's really good, and then give us like our other collection of 5, 6 plus cool arcadey jump in, jump out games and all that good stuff. That's what I would do if it was up to me. Of course, it's not. But yeah, I just can't emphasize how much that how great of an experience this game was. I would not recommend playing it on a Super Pocket, because that's just going to be such a tiny screen, and you really need to see the cinematic scenes and everything. But I didn't have that feeling of frustration, because when I did die, and the deaths are kind of hilarious, seeing the death screens and all. Even though I will say it is kind of weird that you step on water and then you just go rush into the sewer and die, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I get that they had to do that for certain points. But yeah, it's very interactive. It makes you think, but it's not too challenging where you're going to be frustrated. But it's not easy mode where you just press a button to do things. No, you really have to think through these puzzles. But it's just it's just so great, and I'm glad to see that we have this as part of Evercade history and as a physical copy. So yeah, if you're looking just to sit down for an evening or two, have a good time, spend a few hours, really enjoy it, even though you won't come back to it, it's totally worth it. So what I want to know in the comments below, do you want to see more of these just type of different games that are that are experiences like this? What are your thoughts? Do you like Blaze coming out with the single and the dual carts? Would you just be happy if that's all Blaze came out with? I know I would. If they just came out with single, dual, and splashed in some arcade carts, oh man, I would just be so happy. I mean, I do love all the retro games and everything. It's nice to get a change of some of these higher quality indie games that you would see on the Nintendo Switch or Steam or Sony Xbox, whatever. And it's really nice to be able to grab a piece of that. Otherwise, as I said before, this would just be totally unknown. Also comment below if either on this channel or a secondary channel, which I should mention that me and Retro Rich, we do have a Calling All Retro Gamers where we do a separate podcast from Evercast where we talk all other things retro related. Let me know if you would like us to do a spoiler cast on that channel where we dive in, we show the ending, we really go into why this game is so great. Let me know if you would like to see that type of thing. It was the idea to bring up on Evercast. And if you happen to stumble upon this and you're not yet subscribed, and you like this content, please do so, because I'm dedicated to Evercade. I talk about all the new carts that come out, bust in for the latest news and everything, and this is something that has kept me really interested and recharged my energy for gaming and all that. And one other thing I like to do, if you want to show your love and appreciation that you watched the whole video, I like to say something, go ahead and comment here at the end, one-eyed robot. Go ahead and comment one-eyed robot if you want to let me know that you've watched the whole video. And always, thank you much so for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching this video. And those who are channel members that I'm going to say thank you to, you can also too for $1.99 a month if you want to give additional support. I appreciate any and all support to the channel. I'm going to say thank you to the channel members, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.